Nice job. I've got some good content from that. I'll take these back now. It tastes so much better from a bear-shaped cup. Oh, hi everyone. Sorry, didn't realize I was live. Hi. What am I drinking? Oh, it's just my Starbucks iced latte. No, but what's the... Oh, silly me. It's my new bear cup from Starbucks. Yeah, they're really rare. I was so lucky to get one. Oh, how did I get it? Oh, I made my grandma go and get me one. How? Well, she just waited in line. Yeah, she did have to wait in the cold at 2 a.m. Yeah, that's right. No, that's not bad. My granny would do anything for me. How old is she? She's almost 80, but it's fine because she was happy to do it. She knew it would make me happy, so. Yeah, I could have got it myself, but I didn't want to wait in line at 2 a.m., obviously. Yeah, she's fine. Well, she's fine now. Did something, well, yeah, I guess, like, she did have to tackle a guy for it because she picked up the last one. This was the last one, so another guy really wanted it, but she put up a big fight and she's mostly all healed now, so. She is banned from Starbucks for life now though, but like she doesn't really mind. She doesn't drink Starbucks anyway. I tried to get my manager fired. So this story takes place in 2016 and the start of 2017 when I worked in retail. I won't be naming the place that I worked at, but I basically filed a formal complaint about my manager while I still worked there. And I have all of the documents here. So I made a complaint to head office and then they interviewed and investigated the manager. The first point I made in my complaint was that the manager intimidated me and made me cry multiple times. The manager obviously denied this, and he also said that he had never seen me cry, which is a complete lie. My next claim was that I thought he was basically sexist. He basically let the male workers have time off for things like football and sports activities, but when it was something like drama or acting for me, he wouldn't let me have time off. I tried to back up my claim by asking some of my male friend colleagues to back me up on this because they had told me in private that the manager does let them have time off for football. So my friends agreed to back me up here, and then when they received the email about the investigation, they chose not to respond. Next in my statement, I went on to tell a story which I've since made TikToks about, where the manager saw that I had a sanitary towel in my bag. Basically, when you leave at the end of your shift, you normally get your bag searched and some of your, like, parts of your clothing as well to check that you haven't stolen anything. But anyway, I remember him like screwing his face up in disgust when he saw this pad in my bag, and he made a comment telling me to properly dispose of it. Because around the same time, when he saw this in my bag, the female toilets were really dirty. So was this comment him trying to make a dig at me for leaving the toilets dirty just because I had that in my bag? The sanitary bin in the women's toilets were like overflowing at this point in time, but that wasn't any of our responsibilities. There was someone whose job it is to come into the store and like change the bin, like dispose of it, clean it. So him having a meeting with all of the females about this dirty bin, I thought was just a bit strange. But anyway, in his interview, his response to this was that he has no memory of this happening. You know when retail staff have to upsell you things at the checkout? Like they'll ask you if you want like something added on that you just don't want? Well, I felt like my manager singled me out when I hadn't sold enough of those extra add-ons. I remember him pulling me aside into the warehouse one day to basically interrogate me about why I hadn't sold enough. Again, I tried to get someone else to back up this claim, someone who witnessed this happening, but when she got the email, she ignored it. Funnily enough, the manager does say that he remembers this event happening. He then showed the investigator a message I had sent him a few days later, where I was basically messaging him to let him know, look, I have sold some add-ons today. I'm proud of myself. So he then took this as a conversation of encouragement. No, I just felt like I had to keep him updated when I actually did sell some add-ons so that I didn't get told off again. And then the manager says in his interview that there's never any pressure to upsell anything. That's crazy. I also said in my complaint that the manager just generally scares me. After I made the complaint, I still had to work with him, and in my opinion, he started to treat me even worse. He made me stand by the front door of the store in winter in shorts, selling things, which is something he'd never asked me to do before. A lot of the things that I complained about as well are just normal things that's expected of retail workers. Like, it's normal to be asked to stay an extra few hours after your shift. But in this case, because of how scared I was of him and how intimidating he was, it just felt like I never had a choice and I always had to just agree with things. Like, obviously, if I thought my shift was over and I wanted to go home and I wanted to get away, he always asked me right at the end of my shift, like as I'm about to leave, if I can stay an extra 2 hours. But I always felt like it wasn't him asking, it was him like expecting me to say yes. I felt like I couldn't say no. Anyway, in his interview, he said there's never any pressure to say yes to extra hours. I said at the end of my statement, like, my ideal outcome, and I quote, "My ideal outcome would be for the manager to treat everyone nicely so I don't feel scared to go to work." And apparently the manager was taken back by my allegations, and then he showed the interviewer an article that I wrote about him being a really good manager. For context here, he knew that I had a social media following and he wanted more people to come to our store. So to promote the store, he begged me to do a post on Twitter, and it was a picture of me standing outside the front of the shop with the address of the shop and everything, telling people to come, like, this is where I work. Surely that's dangerous. So that's the only thing that I can think of where I would have publicly said, like, oh, come to my store, I've got a really good manager. Like, I don't know where I wrote an article. But again, anything I ever said about him being nice was obviously just because I was scared of him. Why would I go around saying he's a really bad manager? It says in the document, "In conclusion, having considered all the facts and evidence, I can find no evidence to substantiate your claims." So it basically ended there. Obviously, after all of this, I still had to work with the manager, so he was just very off with me and it was really awkward. So a few days after the case got closed, basically, I told him I was quitting. You usually need to give like a week or 2 weeks notice before you quit a job, but I'm guessing he just wanted me gone anyway. So I remember I just went into his office and I said, "Today's my last day," and he was just like, "Okay." The end. Follow for more story times. Mum, Wicked Care Bears! Please, 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 please. Darling, you've already got Wicked toys. I don't have these though. You can wait till Christmas. That's months away. Okay, well you can wait till your birthday then. That's even further away. That's next year. Well, you haven't done your chores this week, so you're not getting a tree, but maybe we can come back next week and get it if you do your chores. And what if they're sold out by next week? They won't be. But what if they are? Darling, put it back. We'll come back next week. Okay, go and get them. Yes! Huh? Oh, maybe they've moved them. No, there's a sign saying out of stock. Well, it's not my fault. Huh? If you had done your chores last week, you could have bought them last week when you saw them. That's not fair. What do you want to get for your treat instead? Look, there's some lovely slippers. Oh, do you have your ID for this alcohol? No, I left it at home. Oh, sorry, I can't sell it to you then, unfortunately. But I'm buying it for my mum. Okay, but I still can't sell it to you. Your mum would have to come in and buy it. I am over 18. Okay, but like I said, it's literally against the law. I don't want to lose my job over this. So my mum would have to come all the way here. If it is for your mum, then yeah, she would have to come in and buy it. Oh, but my mum told me to buy it for her. Okay, well, there's nothing else I can do, sorry. Okay, so what if I went to that cashier over there? Would he sell it to me? Well, no, he shouldn't, because everyone needs to check your ID if you're buying alcohol. Well, it was worth a try. Might as well tell you it was for me anyway, not my mum. Hi, just this. Okay, that's £3. But it's an energy drink. Okay. Are you not gonna ask me for ID? For an energy drink? Well, yeah, in Tesco I always get asked for ID. Oh, right, well, no, it's fine. But you have to be 16 to have these. Okay. Are you 16? Yes. Well, there you go then. Wow, it was really that easy. Strange.